We're now going to look at our All About Love collection, and I'm going to do a couple of recap videos using that. So the first one we want to do is using your tool oval. Now when you get this, you get your foundation dies, but you like that, but you also get the final layer, if I can ever get it out of the pack, as a split unity. So it fits around there, but it comes in two pieces, and that allows you to do some very clever cutting. So what I could do is I just use one piece and I can cut through that, and that's going to give me a card shape like that. So I could have my card like that, and then what I can do is fold that over, and that's given me a shaped card front. So then we can then add on all our mats and layers. So I've got this gorgeous paper off the USB, and also the lovely backing paper, cardstock from the cardstock pack, and I'm going to put that on the inside. Let's get rid of that one. Now when you get this, you will get the tool oval die set, which I've just used to cut that out, and then you'll also get your foundations. So your foundations mean that you've got smaller dies that are going to fit absolutely perfectly and mirror the same shape. So I'll show you as we go through. So let's put the pattern paper on next. There we go. Let's put it that way so that we get that lilac coming out at the side. Now, what we've put on there, I'm going to also match down the side here. So let's put that one on next. So just to make it all match up. So just cutting out little strips to fit on there. So you can make this card whatever size you want. So I've just done this from an A4 sheet of cardstock, as you saw, which I've then trimmed down. So a little bit of glue, and then pop that on there. Oops, a little bit of glue showing. There we go. There we are. Right, so using the foundation die that came in the main set, so let's have a look. So there we go. So this is that one here. We've then cut our matte layer. So because it's the next size down, I'm going to get the perfect little foundation around there. So doesn't that look lovely? Just shadowing that and just making it look really pretty. Now you can put this on with foam tape or with your wet glue. So let's just do it with wet glue for now. There we go. But it's entirely up to you. They look equally as nice with the foam tape. And that's going to go on there. And put that on there. So this was a really, really popular collection, and you can see why, because look at that. Look at the detail on there. So that is the detail die. So I've not used anything in the centre, and I've just let it sit and have that matte layer. So that's going to pop out and go on. I can feel that catching. There we go. Let's just centre it properly. There we go. Now from the same die set, I've cut these couple of pieces out, and they're going to go in the middle. Doesn't that look lovely? It's almost like you're seeing through. You almost don't need too much decoration on with this because it's such a pretty, pretty collection. And that's going to go just there, and then this little panel, again using exactly the same paper, so everything ties together. That is what looks so gorgeous. So we can pop that on there. There we are. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? So still nice and flat, but it's going to look beautiful on your finished projects. So what I was talking about, the foundations, this is so clever. So what they've done is they've given you all of these shapes that match. How they come up with all these different die shapes, I don't know. So look at this. So I've just cut out a sentiment, and I've just used some of the smaller dies from the centre. Now I'm not going to pop that on yet, but it's going to go in the middle somewhere like that. So let's pop that to one side while we look at the floral elements. So this one here is the English Daisy Charisma. So what it's going to allow you to do, it's going to allow you to cut out all the flowers. So what it actually has done is it allows you to do double-sided if you want, all you need to do is print it out and you get this dotted line down the middle. So I'm just going to score that. Now you can do it on a scoreboard or you could just do it with a ruler and your pokey tool. And actually I could feel the dots when I did that. So that will now fold in half. So what I can do is I can either cut out double the amount of flowers I want, or I could put some spray adhesive in there, close that up, and I've now got double-sided charisma. So I'll show you how it works. So it's really, really easy. So you just get your dies. I'm going to have to get them all out to work out which one goes where. I'm not going to do them all because you'll get fed up watching me stick them all down. And you've even got the stamens down the centre. So that's going to go there. And then you just put these over there, just like that. Perfect, just so easy to line up. You can right down to the little ones. I've got some cuts so I can show you in a minute, but it'll get a bit boring if I stick all those down. And can you see how the colour fades away towards the edges? Some of them it fades away towards the centre, sometimes it fades away towards the edge. So we're giving you lots of different choices. There's so many different charisma choices. So when you've done that, we can bring in our mat. I can flip that over. Now can you see this? It's going to cut that as well, perfectly matching up with the charisma. So let's just pop that through. And then we can see what that looks like. See, I didn't even cut them all. Just wanted to cut a few to show you how it works. All the way through. Gave me a chance to clear the decks a little bit. There we go. So flowers, you know I just love making flowers all the time. It's just such a pretty way. Now can you see, look, it's lined up absolutely perfect with the charisma on that side and on that side. So if I'd have glued these together, if I just put a little bit of spray adhesive in there, that would have come out as double-sided charisma. But as I didn't, what it's done is it's given me two in one cut. So it makes your die cutting a lot quicker. So there's my second one. That one goes on there, that one goes on that pile. I do like to tend to keep them from the same, when I'm cutting them from the same direction together. So, because obviously one's like a reverse die cut. So I just keep them all together. So that's going to go on that pile. That's going to go on that pile. But don't worry that you cut it from the back, because all you need to do is just go around the edges with your ball tool and you'll just get that soft rolled look that you get with your dies anyway. And then we've got the stamens as well. So poke those out. And again, can you see, if that had been stuck together, glued together, you would have got perfect double-sided stamens, which is so clever. So let's put those away for later. Move those out of the way. And here is one where I have actually cut the whole pile out. So then it's just about shaping them however you want it to go. Now, let's see if I can get my glue gun to warm up. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over. See, this one has been cut out double-sided. And then I can shape. Let's just shape it round there. So all we've done with this to get it double-sided is just glue the two together. So we've used a thinner card and glued them together. So just shape, really shape onto your mat. So I'm going to come here and drag down. It's entirely up to you how you shape. You can shape in whichever way you want. There you go. And the next layer. I love how this layer is all a bit non-uniform in shape, and it's like a paint splat, isn't it? That's what I always think when I look at that one. Just something a little bit different. There we go. Turn that over. Let's go back with the bigger one, I think, and shape the centre. I wouldn't go with too thick card when you're doing these, because if you go too thick, it's going to make it quite hard to shape. So just drag down to the centre, look. All I do is just roll my ball tool towards the centre, and then it just curls them up so that when I turn it over and do proper daisy shape, isn't it? Oh, I've missed one out, so let's do that one. Drag to the centre, gives them a nice curve. But again, it's entirely up to you how you shape. You just enjoy making flowers. You know I'm passionate about making the flowers, and this is just what this is all about. So then we can shape around there. You can already see that's going to fit inside there. And then we've got little ones. Now you can make these as big or as small as you want, because it's up to you how many layers you use. I've got quite a lot of them cut out here, but you don't have to use them all by any means. So pop that and that. There we go. Now, I've also got the stamens from the centre. I think it's this one actually. Yes, it is, because that one was just two together. I'm just making sure all of the little teeth are separated. And then I'm going to get my pokey tool. Now, because this one's double-sided, I don't have to think about it. But if I was doing it single-sided, I'd probably have the white on the outside, so that when I opened it out, I could splay it. Now, is that glue coming warm? Come on, warm up, warm up. I'll just have to do a little bit of wet glue for this bit. So you see, I didn't put any glue at the beginning. I find that if I put the glue too early, it just bugs it out. But also, I end up gluing them to my tweezers, which none of us want to do. So that's going to go like that. And can you see, look, because we've got the different heights, we've got the different heights on here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to shape that. I'm just going to leave that for 1 minute until I put my flower together. Okay, let's see. Am I going to be able to use my hot glue, or am I going to have to use a wet glue? If I use wet glue, it'll be absolutely fine because it's only paper. But I was just going to try. Can I get some out? Ah, look, it's coming out now. So I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue in the middle. I'm going to get my next layer. And I'm going to get my ball tool. And I'm going to shape it. Because the more we shape it, the flatter the glue goes and the more dimension we get in our flower. Next one. Just a little bit of glue, pop that in and shape. Just press that glue and then we can shape it in. So the more you shape as you go, the easier it will be. We always do a lot of the shaping at the end, but if you can do it a bit as you go, it really helps. A little bit there. So I'm going to go back down to my smaller ball tool now. Can you see, every time we put a layer on, just give it a little twist so that you're alternating the petals. Oops, excuse that. There we go. And then let's go in with a couple of our smaller ones. Quarter petal. I'm going to go that one. Let's go one more. I'm just going to get my ball tool and quickly press all of those down. So you can lift them, use your nail or your pokey tool to lift. And then remember this one that I've got, a little bit of glue underneath, poke it in the middle, press it, just hold it for a minute for that glue to, oops, gone a bit wonky, glue to dry. And then I'm just going to splay all of those stamens out. You can make these look however you want. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So all you need to do now is lift up those petals. It's always better once your hot glue is dried, and it's much quicker. If you're using hot glue, you haven't got to wait for your wet glue to dry. But how does that look coming to life? How about maybe cutting these out of fabric? Maybe cutting these out of felt. You're going to be able to do so many different styles. So all of them are done in exactly the same way, just by cutting and shaping. So then we can put them on our card. But I've also got my foliage. You know I love to make sure I've always got my foliage. So this foliage has just been cut out of green card. These leaves have been cut out of the charisma. So let's just put a couple of those on to start with. We're just going to build it up, and then let's use that one that we've just done. So I'll stick that down in 1 minute, and then we can pop on here. So I think I'm going to have to come in with a small one. So this is why I've not stuck anything down. So my foliage can come right out and then we can tuck that one there. And I think we could put one up here, but obviously only if I put a leaf with it as well. So that's going to look beautiful. So I now know my sentiment will fit there and the flowers aren't going to be in the way. So I can stick that down. Also gives you time to decide where you actually want it to go. There. And a little bit of wet glue. And that's going to go on there. And then we can glue these down. Up, a little bit up behind there. There we go. Quick before that glue dries. And then I'm going to lift these carefully. I think we can just pop that one. Oops. And that one. Pop a little bit of, I'm only using hot glue for speed and to catch them all down. Now I haven't even glued that one down because when I put that one on, it'll glue that one down, and the same with that one. When I glue that one in, that's going to pin that foliage. I'm just going to pull that foliage up a little bit more so I can see a bit more of it. Get rid of all those little glue strings. That's easy to do at the end. You can always get your heat gun on them because it shrivels them up. And how about that? Are all about love using our tulle oval and our beautiful English daisy.